Shalom, Most High in Christ, bless Israel. You understand, brothers and sisters? It's your brother Azariah Judah of Fishes and Men One in Christ. So we're going into another CDCL, casting down Christian lies, man. So today we're going into this guide here, the prayers of sinners. So let's get 1 John. To understand who a sinner or what sin is, you got to understand what sin is. To understand what is a sinner, you got to understand what sin is. 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgressing of the law. So sin is when you break God's commandments. Transgress means to go against or to break the laws of God. So let's dive into it, man. Now we're going to go to St. John, the book of John, chapter 9, and verse 31. Book of John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners. So God does not hear a prayer of a man or woman that breaketh the laws of God. So what does that mean? If you want your prayers to be answered, you got to keep the commandments. We're going to read on. Those going to tell us. Now we know that God heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth. So God hears the prayer of the man or woman that doeth his will, man. Those that do the will of God. What is the will of God? We're going to go to Psalms chapter 40, verse 8. I'm going to use this scripture to explain what is the will of God. Psalms chapter 40, verse 8. I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yea, thy law is within my heart. So God's laws is the will that we got to delight in. You understand? That's what King David is saying in the spirit. The will of God that he took delight in, the will that he took delight in was the laws of God. That is who God hears. Now, we're going to go to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 13. Going into just a couple quick scriptures to show, you understand, you men and women that want to serve the Lord. Not like in Christianity. They don't want to serve God enough. You understand? They think that God hear their prayers. They think they can go fornicate, murder, steal, kill, rob, and God hear their prayers. That's not how the Bible works. That's not how God works. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 12. 3 and 12. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. So God hear the prayers of righteous men and women, but against the evil.